Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be recapping some of this week's biggest sneaker news stories. We've got a first look at Edison Chen's first bit of business with Adidas, updated in-hand looks of one of this year's best looking SB Dunk lows, more Black Cat Jordans, and a pretty hot looking pair of Air Max 1s. All of these stories and much more in this week's sneaker wrap. Let's start things off by talking about some of the biggest sneaker releases that went down this week. We had the restock of the SB Dunk low Purple. This, from what I've been able to gather, was a pretty easy pickup. I know a lot of you guys out there got the dub. I got the dub on these. We also had the Air Jordan 6 yellow ochres, which as far as I can tell are pretty much sat everywhere and will probably go on sale in a few months. But apart from that, it was a pretty light week, so let's get into the news. One of the big stories this week was the announcement of the Air Jordan 5 Black Cat set to come out this holiday season. Haven't got any crispy images, these are just mock-ups. And this, of course, would add to the Air Jordan 3 Black Cat that we're going to be getting this year as well. I'm not sure if the Air Jordan 5 is that type of guy though. It's one of those models in sneaker culture that's a little bit polarizing, very popular with the old heads, but not as popular with the youngsters. I want to say mainly because it's quite a bulky shoe, but I personally think it's a really cool shoe. And so I'll be pretty excited to see these come out. We've also had an announcement that we're going to be getting another Air Jordan 4 this holiday season. This is, however, a women's exclusive, and it is the orchid colorway. Again, no early images or anything like that. These mock-ups are just based on the color palette that has been announced. And listen, it's going to be a huge year for the Air Jordan 4 this year. It is, of course, the 35th anniversary, and we've already seen a whole bunch of really cool colorways announced. We got some images of a really good looking pair of Air Max 1s. These are the Jackie Robinsons. Now, these are supposed to be coming out on the 15th of April this year. And this sneaker is adorned in the classic color scheme of white, dark navy, blue, gold, and gum. And the materials, according to these pictures especially, look really luxurious. You have some soft suede and some perforated suede leather, as well as some golden accents. Inside the shoe's insole features unique patches that emphasize the importance of this release. And the release date coincides with Jackie Robinson Day. Very big day in the context of world baseball and American history. I think these look really nice. What do you guys think? Kobe Bryant's Adidas Crazy 8 All-Star releases on February the 15th, and this is a really cool shoe because this is the shoe that Kobe was wearing when he played against MJ during the 1998 All-Star game, a game that a lot of people consider to be like the passing of the torch from MJ to Kobe. Really cool looking shoe. I had a pair of these back in the day myself, and if you needed any kind of celebrity validation for this shoe, you guys might have seen pictures this week of Kendrick Lamar rocking the Kobe Crazy 8. And so I'm not sure if this shoe is set to become hype or anything like that, but I can definitely see these being popular. What do you guys think? Sneaker rumors abound with news of a potential collaboration between Nike SB and Kobe. Now, these are nothing more than rumors, and to be honest, I don't really know why this collaboration would come about. I mean, there is a little bit of history. I think there is like a Kobe Costin collab out there, or there is an already existing Kobe SB collab, but Kobe never skated as far as I can remember, nor was really into skating, and so this feels like a little bit of a reach from Nike. We got some official images of the Air Jordan 13 blue and gray. These are set to come out on the 10th of February. Really good looking shoe according to these mock-up images, but given the fact that they are 13s, I don't think they'll fly off the shelves. Crocs have announced a couple of pretty exciting collabs. Well, not exciting for me, but maybe exciting for some of you guys out there that are into anime. We have the Naruto collab coming sometime soon. No firm release date on these just yet. There is also an accompanying pair inspired by the character Kakashi, and each pair boasts a set of distinctive gibbets or accessories or design elements that you can add onto these Crocs. Like I said, no official release date has been announced, but the hints seem to be out there that these are going to be launching sometime in February. And speaking of Crocs collaborations, there's another one. This next one with SpongeBob SpongeBob's own Patrick, one of the coolest characters from SpongeBob in my opinion. And these are set to come out in February. Lapstone and Hammer will be returning to their dip dyeing roots with a special collection in partnership with Asics for Lapstone Indigo 2024. They're going to be using the Asics Gel NYC as well as the Asics Gel 1130 as their canvases for this project. Pretty cool looking shoes, and in this picture here you can see the blank canvas all set for dip dyeing. These unique creations are going to be available both in store at their Chestnut location and online at 11 a.m. EST. We've had some official images of the Kobe 8 Court Purple. These are set to come out on the 8th of February. $190, which is quite hefty. And I've got to say, man, I know that the whole Kobe hype is rich these days and understandable given the Mamba's passing, but if this shoe had come out back in the day when the Kobe 8s were floating around, I dare say it, these would have absolutely sat. These aren't really it, in my opinion. I'm not going to be going for these. These are, of course, going to be coming out alongside a Radiant Emerald colorway. We've got the Air Jordan 3 Green Glow to look forward to this summer. And according to this image, the green that you can see around the TPU eyelets on the upper and lower portions kind of looks like a forest green or a deep green, but then when you look at these early images, that green seems to soften and look a little bit more like the traditional Green Glow colorway we remember from shoes like the Air Jordan 4. I've got to say though that this particular shoe isn't appetizing at all for me because it's basically just a black cement with some very minor green touches. The KD4 has a Year of the Dragon colorway, this predominantly brown looking upper, and these are set to come out on February the 7th. $130, which isn't too bad a retail. These are pretty cool. The Jordan Spizikes Low Lightnings are coming soon. No firm date on these. These are supposed to have a price point of $160, and I think these look nice. I'm sure some of you guys out there like me would have been given Tokyo 5 energy when you first laid eyes on these. The blocking is very reminiscent. I do think the Spizike Low is a really nice new addition to the Jordan Fusion family. I think the whole shape really works. I'm digging these. I could definitely be in the market for these. Now, if you're like me, a lot of the SB Dunks that have been announced for this year haven't really given rise to much excitement, but this pair right here, the Futura collab, is definitely giving me the right type of vibes. We've had this past week some really good looks in hand, both in picture form and video form, and I've got to say, man, these are looking pretty tough. You can see Futura's distinctive artistic flair on the canvas upper. Got this muted gray mesh underlay, gives a nice complementary backdrop. The multicolored laces, icy blue sole, and then the signature and the FL logo. It's all looking pretty cool. Official images of the KD4 Galaxy, one of, if not the best, KD4 colorways of all time. 15th of February, $130, and this is one of those pairs that if you were around in the Nike basketball era, you'll have fond memories of probably not being able to cop these when they dropped, because believe it or not, these were hype. These were the thing. These were the Crocs of the time. We've had some detailed looks of the Air Jordan 5 SE Sale. These are supposedly coming out in April, $210 retail, and look, you can't really go wrong. It's a sailed out pair of Air Jordan 5s. I feel like this year they're looking to put a little bit of attention on the 5 with this colorway and the Black Cat announcement that we heard before. The only thing is though, is that at $210, it's a lot of money for people to fork out for a Jordan 5. And although this is a very wearable, very neutral, very nice looking colorway, I wouldn't actually be surprised if these ended up sitting. Let's talk about some on-foots. We had some on-foots of the upcoming Air Jordan 4 Vivid Sulphur, which are going to be coming out apparently in April as well. And these of course sport the traditional fire red Air Jordan 4 color blocking. I'm not totally sure. I mean, according to these on-foot images, the outsole or the bottom of the midsole looks like it's been sort of sailed out, which I do think is a pretty cool touch. Although something about it just doesn't quite sit right with the rest of the white features in the shoe being really crispy and bright. You have the toe cap and the rear in this sort of off-white color. I'm not sure about that, but I do think these are nice. I will be trying to cop these. I've had some really good looks at the upcoming Comme des Garçons Air Max TL 2.5, which are set to come out this fall. Remember, these are coming out in a variety of different colorways. You have an all black, an all white, and then a black and white. And some people have been really liking the look of this shoe. Some people have been hating on it, saying they look a little bit like the recently released Air Max Pulse, but I think these are kind of cool. We've had some official images of the Jordan 1 High OG SP Dusted Clay. These are set to come out on March the 6th, and I think the quality on this pair looks really, really nice. Although this does look like a colorway that you would probably save for the autumn and winter time, given the earthy and autumnal burnished tones. $200 though is the retail price for these, which I think is just too much, even with the elevated materials for an Air Jordan 1. What do you guys think? We've had some more looks at the SB Dunk Low Big Money Savings, which are set to come out in the spring, I think sometime in April, for $125. And some images I see of this shoe I quite like, other images I don't like as much. They seem a little bit busy in some places, a little bit disorganized in places. I'm not sure if I like the light brown suede against the minty green outsole. That doesn't really do it for me. And I'm not sure about this long receipt that features on the inside of the tongue label. I feel like that's going to be more of an annoyance than anything else, but they are interesting. They are a little bit different, and I'm sure will still be worth a crack for retail. What do you guys think? Nike are back at it again, filing another trademark infringement lawsuit, this time against Global Heartbreak in New Jersey over, yeah, you guessed it, the Air Jordan 1. In this picture here, you can see Nike's asserted marks as well as Global Heartbreak's infringing products. And they sent a cease and desist earlier in January, but after sending the cease and desist, Global Heartbreak did not like the deal they offered and went to social media with other alleged threats. The irony of this is, with Global Heartbreak going onto social media to vent and cry and whine, Nike simply took the receipts and have used them in the complaints, showing that when you are dealing with these big companies, you really have to watch your back. And as Sneaker Legal says here, have a game plan. Sometimes it really is in your best interests to exercise your Fifth Amendment rights. And at this point, no one is surprised. In fact, I think a lot of people are siding with Nike in going after a lot of these trademark infringers. Because if these people were just a little bit more original, a little bit more creative in going about creating footwear or a brand, they would have avoided this mess entirely. And last up today, we've had some on-foot images of the Travis Scott Cut the Checks or the Jumpman Jacks or whatever they're being called in this mocha colorway. And I don't know how you guys feel about this shoe, but the more I see this shoe, the less I like it. I'm not saying I'm not going to try it and cop a pair or go for a pair, but I do feel like this particular silhouette and all the different colorways that we're likely going to be getting this year, amid the complete sneaker saturation in the market and the wane in popularity of Nike in general, could bring about the fall off in Travis Scott hype. I'm wondering if these shoes, a little bit like the Travis Scott Air Trainers, might very well end up sitting in some sizes in some places. It will all depend obviously on how many units they choose to produce, but I feel like this shoe here could potentially spark the downfall of the Travis effect. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. And that is it for this week's Sneaker Wrap. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch the video. Do me a favor and drop it a like before you bounce, and stay tuned to the channel because we have an exciting month of sneakers upcoming in February. I'm going to be taking you guys through some of the most exciting releases very, very soon. Don't forget also to go and drop me a follow over on IG and on TikTok so you can keep up with my short form content in real time. And hey, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.